So you have the most advanced students in the P-Tech degree program, close to graduation, who have entered either through an intramural tournament in their college or selected by their instructor to participate as a team to come to this competition to solve simulated process problems or incidents. They may be called incidents by people in the industry. It's a time to exercise. We have several rounds to determine finalists and then to determine the 3 top place finish winners.
The best teams have both technical proficiency but also a good teamwork and good chemistry. They not only have process knowledge, but they also have the background in physics and chemistry, so they can put it together as a whole package. And then they're also able to take that theoretical knowledge and apply it to real-world problems.
Really what we teach our students at the process technology programs is you're going to be working with others, and you need to excel in that and make sure that you're a good team player. This competition is all about teamwork. Every college has a 4-person team, and if you look around, a lot of those are very diverse teams, and it's very critical that those students, just like in a plant, they get along well, they communicate well, they work well together to solve a common problem, and then it becomes very rewarding. If you can work together to actually figure out the root cause of the problem and solve that, that's a pretty cool feeling. It's a great feeling.
This is my first time at the NAPTA Troubleshooting Competition. I've had a couple of favorite parts within the competition. Yesterday, which was the first actual day of, we did mock interviews and resume, and the students also did the first round of competitions before deciding on who would go to finals. I think the favorite part in that was actually being able to assist the students in their resumes, and then also provide the mock interviews and what they may what they may be asked during the interviews when they go out seeking a job.
The mock interviews are amazing. So what they start out with is an introduction between the students and the industry folks. So an initial introduction, a handshake, a greeting. A lot of the students will bring their resumes. So what's really cool about that moment is you get to know the students almost immediately, and then you set the tone, right? Here's the way that the interview is going to go. Here's the value that it's going to provide. But really, at the end of the day, you're asking really challenging questions that will be asked in future interviews. You give feedback to the students in the moment or at the end, or a combination of both, to make their future interviews go a lot better. And then you take a really hard look at their resume and provide a lot of detailed notes, changes, advice on the way for them to market themselves on a piece of paper better.
I'd have to say most exciting thing I've seen coming down here is knowing that something we've all put time and effort into doing, showing something that can apply to the real world. And honestly, it's something I would like a lot of other people to have this experience coming down here, getting to see this facility, how much other companies have dedicated, how much they want these kids to learn, and showing them real life things, full-size skids, built to size, something you can actually see yourself doing in the future. And honestly, it's been a trip. It's coming from up north. It's really nice down here.
The biggest value is the exposure for the students, again with the industry reps. You have arguably 60 of the top process technology students in the world assembled here at San Jack in one spot. And the value to the students is many of those go on to get real-time great jobs in the petrochemical and refining and manufacturing industry because they're highly sought after. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if the vast majority of these students within the next 6 months are working in the industry.
What we've seen over the years is the students' competency has increased. So we've had to increase the complexity of the exercises, and then they match that, and then we have to match it. And so it's a constant challenge to keep the exercises fresh. The folks that do the designing, you hear them in their offices, and they make these mad scientist kind of laughs, almost like, you know, Dr. Frankenstein, and you go in and they've thought up some really devious idea, and you know, we all get a kick out of, wow, that's really, really devious. That's really going to make the students sweat. So there's that whole fun part of building these exercises, knowing that they are going to cause the students a bit of stress while they're working on them.
Yeah, in the moment we would be stressed. Whenever we got all these alarms hitting us, we're like thinking. We don't really stress over it, but we would relax and be calm in the stressful situations and figure out what we need to do first. And once we figured out the issues, we actually were, you know, satisfied. But the last two scenarios were the hardest, so everybody had trouble with it, and it was the most mind-blowing one. But you know, we dealt with it, tried our best. That's all that mattered.
Well, at least I think that I can speak for both of our teams. We had two teams that came to compete, and I believe we did fairly well. We've all prepared for it, so.
So, in first place, I'll see if I can say it right. The synchronize. They had really good communication skills. They communicated really well together when they were both all on the board together, and when they had an outside operator and an inside operator, they did a really good job of communicating what steps in the procedure they were on in the last exercise, and they did a really good job of communicating what they were doing when they were doing different things in the field. So I think their communication skills, plus a couple of them had a really good understanding of the process. So it was really good it really helped them a lot. I think that's what gave them the advantage, is that they had a really good understanding of it.
I think my favorite part, and I've done this since this project's inception, I've been here since the beginning, I think it's seeing those students, whether they win or lose, they're winners. If they got here, they're winners. And to see them come out of a round of competition or an exercise round and joke and just see the faces lit up and see the enjoyment that they kind of chatter against each other, you know, after the fact, that's my personal favorite part. To see the students excel, to see them be here and enjoy it, being a part of the process.
You know, I think part of it is the industry right now. The oil and gas and plastics industry is a bit, you know, people don't like it so much. And I think that the important part is to try to promote the good things that are about it and what the products can be used for, and the quality of the people that operate these plants in a very safe and efficient and an environmentally responsible manner.
From an industry perspective, I just want everyone to experience what goes on in the competition room, right? I think it is a very unique competition. I've not heard about any similar competitions, and I do believe that every person from industry needs to see that.
The NAPTA depends on donations, sponsorship. We have underwriters. Shell and BASF are our co-underwriters this year, and we have numerous other sponsors at different levels. But without their contributions, monetary, in-kind, whatever that is, we couldn't do this. So I would say thank you to all of those companies, because you help make this a success. You help make it possible, and you help make it a success for the students.